Hello everyone, welcome back to this Microsoft Excel tutorial journey with me on my Knowledge Factor YouTube channel. This is the 78th session, and so during this video I'm going to introduce you to another built-in function within Microsoft Excel called the subtotal function. Now this is still a database function, something you work with inside of a vertical list. It's just like the dsum or daverage or dcount function, but this one is going to have one huge difference between what we just did and what the subtotal function can do for you, right? So now in the end it's going to give you a very similar result, the output value, but the way that you work with it is a bit different. So it really comes down to really the structure of your data, what you want to do with the data, and even preference, which function should I use, like that all questions can come in mind. So take a look. This is Excel's subtotal function. Now to really nail this one down and to explain you exactly what's going on, what's happening here, I'm going to tweak the design of the worksheet here. So I'm going to go up and select the cell or row 1. I'm gonna click on the row header here, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert 2 rows. I'll right click the second time and insert it, and just to make it a little bit bigger I will increase the width of row 1, and I'm going to hop over to cell E1, and I'm going to drop in at least to start with, I'm going to drop in just a regular row sum function. So that's it. What I want to do here is give a sum of the total sales. So I'll go to E1 and I'm going to type the equal sum open parenthesis, and I'm going to grab F4. Remember we added the couple of rows there, so F4 and control shift down arrow to F61, and we have now got the entire range. If the shortcut didn't work for you, you can click and drag or type that in, F4 to F61. I'll hit my enter key after closing the close parenthesis, and there's my sum. Let's just make this a little bit bigger, just so you can see it on my screen. There we go, and I'll make that bold as well. Alright, so we got $1,428,320, right? Summing up the total sales column. Now already that sum function did the entire column, right? The dsum function that we worked with just a few videos ago summed up the total sales column, but it did it based on the criteria, right? So the sum function is summing up the columns without any criteria, right? And that criteria was inside of cell someplace. So it had to have a header like the category here. That header had to match the header inside the list, and then we had the criteria directly below in an adjacent cell. Now here comes the subtotal function. I'm going to hop over to F1 and I'm going to put it right next to the sum function, just we can do some comparison. Now I'm going to start to type this one out and say equals subtotal. There it is. I'll give it a double click. Alright, so there's my subtotal function. So now it's asking me for two things, and just to make this easier I'll go and hit the function button, and here's my argument window. It got two arguments. It wants to know the function num and what type of subtotal do you want. Do you want a sum? Do you want an average? Do you want to count? What type of subtotal do you want Excel to perform on your data? The next thing it wants to know is the ref1, or your reference, your first reference. What's the range of cells that you want to subtotal? Alright, now for function names, if I look down below, it says a function name is the number 1 to 11. Right? It's actually more than 11. That specifies the summary function for the subtotal. So essentially Excel says you want to sum, then I need a specific number that represents that sum. If you want an average, well, there's a number that represents average. If you click the link for help here on this function, I have just opened it for you over here. This is a little help window, will give you everything about the subtotal function. By scrolling down, there's a nice little table with function name, and here's the numbers and their associated functions. So if I put number 1 and say the function num number 1 in here, it will include hidden rows and it will do an average. If I do number 2, it will count. If I do a number 9, it will do a sum. So those are your function nums. They have also got 101 to 111, the exact same function. The only difference is these numbers over here, 1 to 11, include hidden values, and this one ignore hidden values. So you hide rows, right? You right click on you right click a row and you hide it. One will ignore it and one will include it. So for first example here, I'm going to use number 9. I'm going to remove that out of the way, this window, and I'm going to drop in number 9 here, which is the sum. And for my reference, I'm going to grab the same reference that our sum function did. I'll click on F4 and control shift down arrow. So we got F4 to F61. We are using the number 9, which is your sum. I'll hit OK, and we have got the exact same value. Let's format that as currency, bump up the size, make it bold. So $1,428,320, exactly the same number. Well, why would you use that then? It just seems like more work than the sum function we did, right? Because you had to know the function number, you know the associated function that goes along with that number. Those are a bit more work, right? But what's this? So I'm going to click into the list and I'm going to do a filter and list by the division. So I'll just put the filter. So now I got the little drop down. I'm going to go to the division, and I don't want every division, so I'll unselect all, and I'll grab East, and I'm gonna hit OK and watch my function now. I have now filtered the list, which changed my range here to just East records, and my subtotal updated to this one. And my sum function is like, hey, I don't know what just happened, but the sum of the list of the sum total is this one only, right? I still got 1,428,000, right? But the subtotal function now updates when you do your filter. Very cool, very cool. So now I said that the outcome is very similar between the subtotal and the dsum function or daverage. The biggest difference is you got to filter the list in order for the subtotal to really do its job. Give me subtotal of East records for the total sales. We kind of filter a list. The dsum that didn't require that that was the criteria that was built out here. So like I said, very similar in results, but pretty drastically different in the way that it's created and the way that you implement it. And this is your subtotal function. Try this one out. I created the extra rows up there just to give myself some space, so just watch for that. Now we don't want to put them over here because when you start filtering the list, then it might get filtered out. It might disappear, so just watch for that there. Alright, try out Excel's subtotal function. I did a number 9 for sum, but you try number 1 or number 2 or one of the other ones in there. So try it out. And this is the end of this section, the functions in the Microsoft Excel. So we are ending up this section, and so this is a time where you can evaluate yourself. I'm dropping a link in the description section of this video. Go through the link, get the quiz done, evaluate yourself, and measure your knowledge depth, right? So thanks for watching this tutorial, and as I always say, if you really liked it, enjoying this journey, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and also press the bell icon to get the latest content update on this channel. Alright, then we'll meet up in the next session. In case you have any questions, any concerns, then do let me know in the comment section of this video. So see you in the next session. Till then, stay safe, have a great life, and take very good care of yourself.